So many Democrats are coming out saying now that they want calls for impeachment, as if they hadn't already been saying that, based on this report in BuzzFeed that Cohen, Trump's longtime lawyer, is saying that Trump instructed him to lie about his Moscow Tower business that he was going to have in Russia. Now, it's a very interesting story, and we don't have all the details. We just have anonymous sources. So there's a couple things to remember about this. First is, oftentimes these stories with anonymous sources have been wrong. How many times have we heard we now have proof from law enforcement officials that Cohen met in Prague with Russian diplomats, and that turned out to be false. That story's been reported like 3-4 times separately, and all 3-4 times they had to come out and be like, oh, our bad, that wasn't really what happened. And we see with Manafort supposedly sharing poll data with all these shady Russians, it turns out it was Ukrainians, and they made a big deal of that. The second thing to remember is they always make a big deal out of anything, and so this isn't reason for me to get alarmed so far that Trump did anything that was horrible. Third is, remember, Cohen got charged with lying to Congress, and he's looking at possibly 3 years, where we see people on Hillary's side that lied to the FBI and Congress, and even the people in the intel agencies themselves, like McCabe, who lied to Congress. Comey, we know, lied to Congress about things like saying that he was never the source of any of the leaks, which we now know that was a lie. We have Brennan, who has lied to Congress. We have Clapper, who lied to Congress in a serious way, saying that the NSA didn't collect intel on Americans. And not only were they never charged, but had they been charged, would we have been told who instructed them to lie? Perhaps it was someone further up the chain like Barack Obama. We also had like the Benghazi hearings. It was all about Hillary and others lying in front of Congress about what exactly the Benghazi attack was. And none of those were people charged criminally. That's the issue that I have with all this, is that it's an obvious double standard. Now, they'll say, yes, but Obama was never accused of lying to Congress when the people below him are instructing lies to Congress. But that's because they never charged those people when they knew that they lied to Congress to see who instructed them to do so. The way they go after Trump and people connect to him versus how they go after everyone else is obvious to anyone who's paying attention. So, yeah, you raid Cohen's office in the middle of the night. You throw Manafort in solitary confinement. You charge Flynn with lying to the FBI. You charge Papadopoulos with lying to the FBI. All in attempts to turn the screws on them, to have them say, yeah, Trump did something terrible. Trump broke some law. Whereas with anyone else, people connected to Obama or Hillary, it's let's just grant everyone immunity and not charge them with these crimes. And then Obama and Hillary supporters are able to say, they didn't do anything shady. Obviously, the FBI wasn't after them. Yeah, because we know the FBI is a corrupt, biased organization. We know that the FBI, for example, used Trump's policy decisions on possibly wanting to lower sanctions on Russia or have good relationships with Russia as a reason to be skeptical of him and want to investigate him. We know that they took a joke seriously when he said, FBI is not going to charge Hillary for deleting subpoenaed emails, but they can't find them. I hope Russia could find them and maybe give them to, maybe then we could all see what was in them. They took that as a serious reason to want to investigate Trump. So it's clear that they're corrupt and biased. The third thing is, unless Cohen has like physical documentation or audio of Trump instructing this lie, then you're basically basing this off the word of a known liar. Cohen's admitted to lying several times. He was Trump's lawyer. He's trying to get a sweetheart deal. He's doing whatever he can. And this is what people like Alan Dershowitz have been saying for a long time. The problem is when you're turning the screws on people like this, it's not that just they'll sing, it's that they'll compose. In other words, they'll just flat out make dirt up on Trump in an effort to get a better deal, because all the Mueller investigation and the FBI is interested in is getting Trump by any means necessary, because they're corrupt, and Schumer told us, you can't criticize the intel agencies if you're an elected official, even president. They'll find 6 ways from Sunday of getting back at you. We know that's the case. And so they're going after Trump in any way possible, and they don't care if people are lying. So I would like to see physical evidence that he was instructed to lie. And the fourth thing is, remember what this lie was about. The lie that Cohen's been charged about, something that's totally legal, which was Trump maybe having a tower in Moscow. Again, that's totally legal. The argument that Cohen was charged for was that he claimed that the discussions of this stopped in January of 2016, when actually they stopped in like June of 2016. So he told the exact truth about what happened, just the date was different. So I guess the implication is Trump told him to lie specifically about those dates. But again, what's the lie cover? It was legal activity in the first place. They say it was in an effort to quell the Russia investigation, but what does the Russia investigation have to do with the Trump Tower business? Nothing at all. It didn't go through. It was a businessman looking for a legitimate business opportunity. Just because it was in Russia, the DNC and the Mueller investigation and their media mouthpieces want you to constantly hear Trump, Russia, Trump, Russia, Trump, Russia, as if just talking to Russians makes you guilty of something. Never mind that, for example, we know that Bill Clinton virtually met with Vladimir Putin during the Uranium One scandal, where his wife was Secretary of State and her agency was partially one of the votes that would do the sale of uranium to Russians. Bill Clinton meets in secret with Putin. 2 weeks later, Bill Clinton's given $500,000 by a Russian state-owned bank. Where's the screams there? Where's the screams of, Russia and Americans, Russia in politics, Russia in politics? Nope, that was totally fine. And we're talking about the sale of uranium. That wasn't a big deal, but this deal with Trump Tower is. So if the story is totally true and Trump did instruct him to lie, then it is reason to investigate and reason to worry. But again, the lie was about something legal. I don't know if it'll be reason enough to impeach. I don't see the Senate having enough votes at this point to impeach. They're going to need something more. But understand, impeachment's not, the requirement isn't that a law was broke. It's political. If enough people to vote to impeach Trump over this, then so be it. They vote. But it's been clear that this has been the plan all along. It's been a witch hunt. They're trying to find anything. I'll be amazed if this is all they could come up with, because my stance the entire time is, as someone who made it to be president of the United States and was a billionaire Manhattan real estate tycoon, surely he's broken the law somewhere. If this is the best they can come up with, I'd be amazed. So I don't think it's a huge story. Like I said, there's 4 points as to why not. So. All right, I'll be doing a live stream today around noon. It'll probably only be an hour and a half because I have some obligations to take care of. But, yeah, tune in. And if you like this video, click the circle down there with my face. Hit subscribe. Give me a thumbs up on the video, and have a good one.